Let's see what the media is saying. Trump's interview with Musk devolves into yet another X catastrophe. Dude, the entire interview back and forth was so incredibly stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was also boring as. That's not what Piers said. Yeah, who gives a shit about what Piers Morgan says, bro? What do you mean? He's a grade A glazer listening to Elon Musk and the real Donald Trump chat about trains just now was surprisingly fascinating. Love this X Spaces conversation. It's like two mates chewing the fat about the world's problems. People who hate them will hate it, but everyone else will learn from it. Here's the thing. There are a lot of guys like Piers Morgan out there who just like sucking up the power. And obviously Elon Musk, regardless of my criticism of him, is a pretty powerful person. And so is Donald Trump. That's all he's doing. He's just like, he's glazing. He's glazing people in power. That's it. He's also a center-right figure regardless. Wow, look at the copium coming in from Ben. Kamala simply could not do a 2-hour running interview without seriously harming herself. Everyone knows it. Yeah, the difference is all of the Trump loyalists, including Ben Shapiro, have already subscribed to the notion that Donald Trump is going to look like a fucking baboon when he does a 2-hour interview. Okay? This argument is so silly because the entire purpose for Donald Trump right now, the entire goal for the next 80 fucking days is to win over voters that either never want to vote for him again or maybe somehow magically have not made up their minds on him, okay? And considering that he was already the fucking president, that's going to be really hard to find. Interviews like this, where he goes on for 2 fucking hours and rambles on and on and on and on over and over the course of multiple fucking ad breaks. But when he rambles on like this and says some like idiotic shit, he's not winning over actual new voters to his fucking campaign. The idea that like Donald Trump is doing a great job doing a 2-hour running interview because he hasn't seriously harmed himself is silly. It's silly. He's not going to lose voters for rambling on and on in the same ways that he has, but he's also not winning voters. So he's just like he's not maxing out his use of time. He's not min-maxing. And that's the craziest part about this because this interview is not going to get a lot of play except for all the lowlights. Everything you're supposed to look for in an interview like this going forward is like you're trying to win an election, right? You're not just trying to have a yap sesh. Your goal for Donald Trump, if you're Donald Trump's campaign advisor, your goal is to try to put him in unique positions that will potentially show him in a different light to those who maybe have doubts about voting for him, maybe have doubts about voting for him again, or maybe have doubts about voting for him at all, and try to convince those guys. Doing the same stump speech that you've done about 12 million Guatemalan migrants doing heinous is not going to win new voters over. You've already calcified your base of support. Those guys aren't going anywhere, and you're not losing those guys either, but you're not actually gaining any new voters when you do that. I think you're missing the point that he had the highest numbers in Twitter history, maybe in the history of the world. Yes, you're right. That's true. There 6 billion people, 8 billion people listened to this interview and they loved it. So that's why when someone asked me earlier, like, do you think this will help Donald Trump or do you think this will hurt Donald Trump? Most things will hurt Donald Trump. Most things will not help Donald Trump. This is one of those things that will end up hurting Donald Trump because for 2 hours, he went uninterrupted and he said a whole bunch of insane shit. He said a whole bunch of insane nonsense. And obviously the media is only going to focus on hilarious failures of Twitter once again, which is a platform that out of all of the major social media platforms that still cannot host a conversation between two people that isn't like featuring video. I need you to understand something. Twitter Spaces is so busted. Okay. Like remember when I talked about this last time with the DeSantis thing and people were trying to correct me? Like my tweets are still very much out there on the platform. I tweeted about it at the time. I was like, there are websites like YouTube that have 1 million concurrent viewers that are live broadcasting like things that are happening in real time with video. Like this guy couldn't even do something that fucking Kick did. Okay. Radio as a medium, hundreds of years old at this point, is 100 years old. The notion that like you can't do something that radio is able to do, was able to fucking do with like way, way worse tech is crazy. Now, Elon said there was a distributed denial of service attack, except turns out that was a lie. Shocking. I know. Many of you will be shocked to find out. Here is The Verge. The rest of X appears to be working normally. However, and a source at the company confirmed to The Verge that there wasn't actually a denial of service attack. Another X staffer said there was a 99% chance that Elon was lying about an attack. The fact that this website literally cannot even work normally with like an audio distribution, an audio conversation, not even a video conversation, just an audio conversation is insane to me. This is a dog shit service. The other salient part of this conversation is Donald Trump coming across like he has a lisp. everyone, and I mean even right wingers, and their takeaway from this, no matter how cultish they are, will be that this motherfucker was slurring his words. It's especially shitty when you're not running against Joe Biden. If you were running against Joe Biden and you fucking were slurring your words, you could still turn around and say, guess what? My opponent, he's brain dead. Okay? He's a vegetable. So what are you going to do? Oh, yeah, you think I'm slurring my words? He can't even say words. Okay? But now he's running against Kamala Harris, much more dynamic, much younger candidate. Obviously, that is going to play really poorly for him. He also had that Biden stupid face moment, which I thought was hilarious. Two spoiled billionaire fail sons talking about how the Guatemalan dude trekking for 1,000 miles to come work here for pennies on the dollar is actually unproductive, which like was it pissed me the fuck off. And I also talked about how Elon Musk himself was an illegal immigrant for a short period of time. Thoughts on him calling Kamala beautiful? He's ace, bro. He's ace, aromantic, and zesty as fuck. Okay, that's it. That was the zestiest moment. Another take I had is I don't think that people realize old Trump used to thrive on adversarial interviews. This interview is basically the same as any other boring Sean Hannity conversations Trump has had with less throating. Hannity is the throat goat. Elon Musk could not throat him as hard. When he was talking about Kim Jong-un, it was zesty. Oh, I know. That was zesty as hell. I'm a little disappointed that he did not glaze Chairman Xi. Like they briefly talked about it. He even said, you have a great relationship with Chairman Xi Jinping. And then they glanced over. There were zero mentions of JD Vance. Elon Musk was desperately trying to make the attempt come across like it was a fucking conspiracy by the deep state. And Donald Trump refused to do that, which is really funny. He also does literally personally love the fucking Secret Service that saved his life. Like I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump loves the Secret Service. Our statement on whatever that was, statement on Donald Trump's interview with Elon Musk. Donald Trump's extremism and dangerous Project 2025 agenda is a feature, not a glitch of his campaign, which was on full display for those unlucky enough to listen in tonight during whatever that was on X.com. Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year 2024. Yes, I, on the other hand, can run a live stream in the year 2024, so remember that. Thoughts on Democrats are a bigger threat to America than foreign adversaries? I mean, I think that's a banger line. I say that about Republicans all the time. I mean, I sometimes say that about the Democrats as well. It is true. If you're a Republican, it's perfectly valid for you to say that. I think if you're a Democrat, it's perfectly valid for you to say that as well. I don't know. I mean, I do legitimately think that like the number one terrorists on this planet are the Republican Party, followed closely by the Democratic Party as number two. So both as in terms of foreign policy and also in terms of domestic policy in general. I love Elon Musk for just showing the world over and over again that like the idea of meritocracy is just like an abject lie. This guy is such a fucking loser. He is so dumb. If you still think after looking at Elon Musk that like rich people, billionaires are worthy of the status and the power and the money that they've gotten, like after all of that, if you still have this belief, if you are still maintaining this belief, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. You have lost your goddamn mind. Okay. He is so bad. Do you think Elon's cult members feel that way? Yes, they are. They do because they're cult members. It's the same as like Trump cult members as well. Yes. HasanAbi calls Elon Musk unintelligent as his fan base falls 3 standard deviations below median IQ. How does it feel to know Trump is winning in November? Are these actual real people in the comments? Damn, feels bad watching you all cope. Brother, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't think there's any way to reason with you. Like, I don't think I can explain that to you. I mean, you just experienced Elon Musk fail to do something that you are actually enjoying right now. There are more daily active users that are live streaming on this platform at this very moment and watching this platform at this very moment than that one fucking Twitter space. And it's running. It's running and there's no issue with it. And your favorite billionaire daddy has not figured out how to run that effectively on this platform that he overpaid for because he was forced by a court to purchase it after making a meme-ass purchase. And he already failed at one time with DeSantis. Do you think Elon is cozying to Trump in the case he needs a pardon for fraud charges in the future? No, I think he's just cozying because he's a fucking billionaire. What do you mean? He's a right-wing billionaire who is obsessed with racist shit. I don't understand how like dudes who literally have to work Uber jobs on top of their regular jobs in order to make a living sit around and listen to like a spoiled billionaire man-child with the thinnest skin of all time talk about how fucking oppressed he is and go, that's my king right there. He is so oppressed. He's looking out for me, the little guy. It's like, bro, he would melt you for biomatter, okay? Without a single care in the world. Like this, like you are so cucked, it makes no sense. I don't get why Elon glazes the right so much. Those are not the people who are even buying Teslas. I hope no one buys Teslas ever again. Oh,